This is ABC 13 Community Close-Up, Crossroads.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to Crossroads. I'm Melanie Lawson. We are very glad you're joining us today because we've got a great show for you. Houston now has a platform for aspiring filmmakers. We're going to talk to a couple of Houston filmmakers about a new film series that is going on all around town. We'll tell you about that. All right, here's a question for you. Are you an aspiring filmmaker? Have you always seen yourself as a future Spike Lee or Steven Spielberg? Or perhaps do you like to view new and cutting-edge films? Well, you won't want to miss the frame-to-frame screening series that's going on this summer in town. Producers Sean Ray Tieuel and Gordon Williams are here to tell us all about it, and we want to welcome you two gentlemen here. First of all, it's exciting to meet filmmakers, and I want to know, how do you get interested in something like this? You go from watching movies in the theater to deciding, I can do this.
Well, actually, that's what it's like. It's always been one of my hobbies to collect films, collect music, and then one day it was just like, hey, I could do this, or I would do this differently than this person might have done it. So that's how I came to be a filmmaker.
Now, Gordon, do you just pick up a home video cam, or do you get an old film machine? What do you do?
Well, that's how I got started as a child, just going around videotaping everything, and you acquire knowledge, you read books, and I went to college and just got the knowledge about television and film, and it just springboard from there.
And I want to stop you right there because I'm sure a lot of people want to know, how do you find out more about how to make film? And you actually went to school for it, is that right?
Well, I went to Lamar University in Beaumont, where I got my degree in television production, and a lot of the television practices are very similar to film, so it was a great learning place for me.
But tell me a little bit more about how you all sort of learn on the job, if you will. Do you go out and grab your friends and relatives, family? What do you do? How do you start?
That's exactly what it's like. I was just meeting with a friend yesterday about the same thing. I talk to people nationwide, like-minded filmmakers and writers, and when you don't have the superstar, quote-unquote, in your play or short story or film, then you bring your friends in, you bring your cousins in, your mother, father, and whoever else, would take a part in what you're doing.
Now, we're looking at a couple of shorts that you all have shot. One is The Breakfast Club, which is very familiar to anybody who's eaten at the Breakfast Club downtown, but you actually made a film about this, right?
Yes, it was my first filming experience. I actually contacted Marcus and the public relations representatives, and it's one of my favorite restaurants of all time, and I just wanted to highlight the things that go on there, especially with the fans and the patronage that they receive. And they were kind enough to allow me to come in and to film several days, in their restaurant.
So it was kind of a behind the scenes at the Breakfast Club.
Very much so, but I found that even on the plane back, someone recognized me as the person that had the camcorder, in the Breakfast Club. So as I move around more, they do recognize me as someone that was in the Breakfast Club or that has shot the film for the Breakfast Club.
And there was a second movie we just saw a little bit of a clip from, Gemini 1. Can you tell me more about that?
The story is martial arts thriller. Actually, a news reporter stumbles onto a story.
Oh, I like it already. Okay.
And about an athlete, and after the death, the athlete is stalked by this mysterious person in Gemini 1, and we're planning on continuing the storyline within the next year or so.
Now, tell me a little bit more about how people can find out where to come see your independent movies.
Well, I would like to thank Sean Ray, because Frame to Frame gave us an opportunity to show Gemini here in the Houston area. So I think it's very important to support micro cinema events here in Houston, and this is a place where you want to go to see independent films.
Now, I've asked both of you all. I know in Hollywood there's the producer, the director, this and that and the other. Now, how do you describe yourselves? Are you all of the above?
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly. I started off writing short pieces, and I was asked to do a few serial novels and several magazines. So I see myself as a writer first, but when it comes to film, and seeing other things on the screen that, well, I feel like I could do this, or, I would, as I said before, I would do it differently. But we were just talking about that. We see it as, you know, all-encompassing, producing, writing, directing. Then you have the power to do just about anything that you would like on your film.
I think one of you told me at this level you do everything from writing it to picking folks up at the airport to buying
Catering, yeah.
Whatever needs to be done, you take care of it.
Exactly.
Well, we want to tell people where they can go to, first of all, find out a little bit more about independent filmmaking. First, this is the screening location, Wild Blue Pictures at 7026 Old Katy Road, Suite 350. Or you can get in touch with these fellas at 281-451-4296 if you envision yourself as a future filmmaker, and we hope a lot of you do. I want to thank you very much for stopping by. Always an interesting topic, and we want to know more about how to get into the movies. And if you can't get to Hollywood, well, bring Hollywood to Houston.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being with us.
I appreciate it.
Well, coming up next, is it the new basketball or perhaps just a nice alternative? We'll be back in a moment.